Hi, this is Dan Truax, founder and CEO of RVista. One of the questions I get asked is, how do I shape my route from what I see on the screen in my trip planning view? I'm going to show you how to do that on this trip with RVista today. One important side note on this, as you can see on this picture, shaping your route in the trip planning view is not the same necessarily as what you're going to see in your GPS. Shaping your plan on your trip planning view provides ultimate flexibility because we want to allow you to add any interests or anything that you want to do along the way to your trip, especially while you're actually camped or staying at a given place. It could be a golf course, it could be a museum. We want to allow you to put that in your trip planning view without assuming that you're driving your actual RV to that. Unlike GPS, where now when it's actually time to drive on a given day and you select drive from the mobile version, we are passing along all of your routing preferences, all of your vehicle dimensions to make sure that the route that you get or the options for the routes that you get for that day are indeed RV safe. So back to this. Some people still have a need or desire to shape the route even in their trip planning view. And what you're looking at here is a simple little trip that I created going from Michigan to Arizona. And you can see I have three stops in between um, my starting point and my destination. And I'm going to zoom in here and say, hey, you know what? On day one, on my first drive, hey, it's taking me through St. Louis. And as a matter of fact, it's taken me directly through the middle of St. Louis. Now, I know when I'm actually driving that day, I'm going to get an RV safe route because I'm actually using the GPS with all my dimensions and everything. But you know what? I still want to be able to shape my route on my trip planning view as well. And I don't want it to actually take me through the middle of the city. I actually want to go south and go around the bottom of the city on this beltway. I believe it's Interstate 255. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to drop a what we call a 0 night stay or 0 night interest on this actual route to adjust where it shows that I'm going. So what you're going to notice is in the top right, in my filters, I actually have two selected. Now these are just the ones that I use in my own personal travels. And if I go down to interests, you're going to see if I go to vehicle care and maintenance, I always keep my truck stops on. And if you go down to free stays, in this case, I have my Walmart selected. So if I go back here now and I'm zoomed in and I turn those interests on in the bottom right hand, that's what's going to show up on my map. I see the Walmart icons and I see the truck stop showing up with the vehicle care and maintenance icon that is a wrench. For this particular purpose, I'm actually going to zoom in a little bit further here and I'm going to click this truck stop. It is a Love's Travel Stop. And to show you how I'm going to adjust this route, I'm going to add this to the trip. And instead of adding it to an existing stop, I'm going to add it as a custom stop. You're going to notice when I do that the number of nights defaults to 1 night because our Vista assumes that the things that you add, you're going to stay at least 1 night. But we know in this case, we're actually not going to stay there. We're just dropping a waypoint. So what we allow you to do is actually change that 1 night to 0 nights. If I scroll down here, nothing else really needs to change. I'm going to click next and it's going to say, hey, add this stop after. And I know this is on my first day of driving, so I'm going to add it after my starting point, which is Sunnybrook RV Resort in South Haven, Michigan. And I'm going to click Add Stop. What you're going to notice when it adds this stop, if I zoom out here a little bit now, you'll notice, in fact, it did route me below St. Louis instead of going directly through St. Louis. And so that you can see the trip a little bit easier, I'm going to turn my interests off now, click View Entire Trip, and you're going to see that it indeed added a stop. But if I go over to the left, the important thing to note here is, even though Love's Travel Stop is the new first stop, you can see that it says 0 nights. So it hasn't added any days to my stay. It would have added any appropriate mileage approximations there. It would have added an additional stop and whatever increase or decrease in time that I may have from adding that. And so this is just a really easy way to tailor what you're seeing on the screen and sort of shape your route if you want to do that without adding nights to your trip. And again, I could have done that 0 night stay or stop. I could have done that with a campground, any interest. It could have been a museum or a rest stop or a gas station. Anything that I can add as a stop in RVista, I can make that 0 nights and just use that as a way to quickly drop a waypoint and shape my route. So I hope this helped you. I hope it answers the question, and I hope you get value. If you have any questions pertaining to this, just drop me a comment or question in the comments, or shoot me an email at info@rvista.com. Again, this is Dan Truax, the founder and CEO of RVista, and I hope this was useful, and I hope to see you down there on the road someday.